What's up, guys? I wanted to talk to y'all and tell y'all about this Arkansas trip that I went on back when I was 14 years old. I was around 14 years old, which was back in the 80s. You know, it was about 84, 83, 84. Um, I decided to go with some friend of mine. His parents had a condo in Arkansas. It was in Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, which is actually a resort town. And people from all different states, come there to go stay in condos. It's like a big golf course type, resort. And it has its own little town and has a bowling alley and arcade and all the stuff. And all the kids from all these different states go there and hang out. Well, I went there with a buddy of mine and his parents, they wanted to kick it in the condo, because the condo had a hot tub. It was nice. So his parents wanted to be alone. So pretty much we had to go just do whatever the fuck we wanted. And back then kids did what they wanted. I mean, we did. I mean, I never had nobody tell me that I couldn't do anything. And we didn't have cell phones. So we decided to go to Blanchard Springs Caverns. These are these caverns, and I assume they're like Carlsbad Caverns, but I've never been to Carlsbad Caverns, so I don't know for sure. But there were three of us. It was me, my friend Jay, and then I'm going to say S is the other guy's name because I don't want to say his name. But anyway, it's me, Jay, and S. And S is about my age. Jay is about a couple years older. He's probably 16 because he's got a car, and we basically followed his parents to Fairfield Bay in his car, so that we'd have a vehicle to drive around. So anyway, we go to Fairfield Bay, or we go to, not Fairfield Bay, we go to Blanchard Springs Caverns. And we check them out. It's pretty cool. We go down there in the caves, and, it's like basically they take you down there. And there's like paths and stuff, and, there's bats from the ceiling, and it's cool down there. It's like, the temperature is real cold. It's like a cooler temperature. Well, anyway, we checked that out, thought it was cool. When we left, we went down the road, and there was this diner just in the middle of nowhere, little diner cafe type thing. And so we decided to stop there and eat. And so we did. Well, when we went in there to eat, there was this girl there, and she was pretty hot chick, pretty hot little hillbilly chick. And so she starts talking to us, she's the waitress. And so she's like, "Hey, what are y'all doing? Where y'all from?" We tell her, "Oh, we're from Dallas." And she's like, "Really?" She's like, "That's cool." She's just all into us and shit. She's like, "Hey, why don't y'all come camping tonight? There's a little campsite down the road. Why don't y'all come go camping and come up here and hang out with us?" And she was talking about her and her cousin. So we were like thinking, okay, fuck. We were like, that's cool. Shit, we were down. So first off, I assumed that she was probably interested in my buddy Jay, because Jay's a little older, and he was kind of a ladies' man at the time. He was, he had big fucking wavy hair, back in the 80s. So he had the big thick fucking hair, like a rock star type hair, which we all had long hair, but he had the thick hair. So I assumed she was interested in him. Now S, his whole deal was that she wanted to mess around with all of us. That's the way his mind thinks. He was just like, she wants to mess around with all of us. Even though she said she had a friend or a cousin. So they both liked the hot chick at the diner. So they were kind of just bickering about her, which I thought she was hot, but I didn't give a fuck. Because like I said, I've never, I just don't give a shit, I'm not going to give a hot chick the time of day. She's going to have to work for my fucking affection. So, we decided to go camping, and we go down to, we always carried our camping gear with us. So we went down to this little camp area, and I remember it was a little bitty sign that just said camping. It was maybe the size of a dollar bill. And I was like, is that the campsite she's talking about? So we decided to go down it was like a little dirt road. So we went down this dirt road that basically winded and it winded down this valley for like damn 30 minutes. So we finally get down to the bottom of that valley, And I mean, it is fucking dense. I mean, there are so many fucking trees. I mean, it is like really thick. And, this is summertime. And we see where there could have been some campsites. We seen there was a couple there. What set it off was that there was a couple of picnic tables. But they were real overgrown. So he was like, man, is this where people are camping down here? It just didn't look like your typical campsite. But, we made do. And I noticed there was a lot of animals. It's like there was all these little animals walking around, like raccoons, and I seen a skunk and fucking all these little animals just walking around everywhere. And I was like, well, it sure is a lot of activity down here with the animals and shit. But, we decided, okay, we'll go ahead and camp. So we set up the tent. And, by this time, it's already, it's already, afternoon. It's getting to be 7. It's getting close to where the sun's about to go down. And, as far as the hot chick up there, I figure she was probably maybe between maybe 16 and 18. She could have been 16, 17, 18. I don't know exactly how old she was, but that's how old the girl up there at the cafe was, or the diner. So anyway, we wait until about, I don't know exact time because it's been a long time, but I figure, 9, 10 o'clock when the diner closes. So we drove up there, and there was like this little convenience store that was like kind of behind the diner that was run down, and it was like, closed. So it wasn't like a convenience store anymore. It was just like an old little, just a building kind of behind the diner, and it was run down. So we go up there and we meet her, and she's like, hey, come on back here. So we go back to that run down convenience store. And so we go in there. She introduces us to her cousin. Her cousin is, I don't know, man. Her cousin's like 6'5", not very attractive at all. I mean, she's real tall, kind of dudeish, fucking really not attractive. And it was funny as hell. So, and then there was another person there. It was like a young boy. It was like maybe he was about 9 or 10, little chubby fat kid. And so, and like I said, this is in the 80s, okay? So this is back in the 80s. I wasn't overweight then. I was in good shape back then. So it was like it wasn't like I was a big fat guy back in the day. And so anyway, the tall chick was trying to hook up with me and S because the hot girl was honed in on Jay. Just like I said, she liked Jay. Plus he had the car. He was older. So, and I think the hot chick was basically trying to get out of there. Cause I mean, they were in the middle of nowhere, I thought she figured she done found her a husband or boyfriend or something, figured gonna take her, swoop her up and take her back to Dallas, which wasn't the case. Cause, that's just not how Jay was. He actually had a girlfriend back in Dallas. So anyway, her and Jay go out and get in the car, and they mess around in the car. So we're inside this rundown convenience store, hanging with the slee stack chick and the little kid. Slee stack chick. So anyway, our Bigfoot chick, whatever you want to call her, which she was, I don't know. I would like to say that she was nice, but I remember she was kind of like being a smartass, Well, she was like trying to get us to mess with her. She was telling us she'd mess with me and S both. She was like, she was like telling us that she'd give us hand jobs, and it was crazy, but because I was like, no. And me and S are like, you go for it. And he's like, no, you go for it. And I don't know, this tall chick was probably maybe, I don't know, 18, 19, 20. She was older, looks a little older. But she was just like, I'll give y'all a hand job. I was like, no. It was pretty funny. She's like, you don't want me to give you a hand job? I'll give you a hand job real quick. Come on. And she goes, I'll do both of y'all at the same time. I swear she told us she'd do us both at the same time. I was like, no, I'm not. And so, me and Ash are like, go for it, man, go for it, go for it. We're just back and forth. And he's like, no. So anyway, we carried these little CO2 357 guns. I swear they looked just like 357s. But they had a little screw on the bottom where, the CO2 cartridge screwed in, to tighten it up in the handle. And they had these pellets in them. And you could actually stick these darts in the first bullet hole. And if you had a fresh CO2 in there, the dart would actually, it'd shoot into a tree and you couldn't even see it anymore. I mean, it went into the tree and it was gone. So, I mean, it could hurt you. And so we're waving these 357 guns around, acting like idiots. Sean's like shooting their fucking leather couch, putting holes in their couch with the pellets and shit. And I was like, and it's like, the girl, the sleeve stack chick, was telling us about how there was a bear out in the field behind the convenience store. And so we go running out to the field, and by then it's dark. Okay, it's nighttime by this point. And we go out in that field, and it's just, I realize that it's pitch fucking dark. I mean, it is fucking dark. You can't even fucking see a hand in front of your fucking face. It's so fucking dark. I don't even think there was a moon out that night. And fucking dude, all you could see was the light from the convenience store. That's it. So we fucking tear our ass back. I'm like, fuck this bear shit. We ain't looking for no bear. So, because we were drinking, because we drank. I mean, I remember we were 14 years old. We always had tons of beer. We drank Coors Light. We'd have Jack Daniels. I mean, we had the trunk of the car was like Dazed and Confused. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Dazed and Confused. Where they had the dude pops the trunk of the car and there's all this beer back there. That's kind of how like we had it. I mean, we used to drink all the time. And, we were 14, 15, 16 years old. No one gave a shit about what we did. I mean, we basically did anything we fucking wanted back then. Our parents didn't know where the fuck we were. I mean, my mom knew I went to Arkansas, but on vacation with my friend. But I mean, my friend's parents didn't know where the fuck we were, but that was just normal for us. We just did what the fuck we wanted. So anyway, we go back inside, and I started talking to the little chubby kid, the little fat kid. And he was like asking me if I knew the Von Erichs. And the Von Erichs is a wrestling family that was in Dallas back then. And they used to wrestle at the Sportatorium. And I told him, sure, man, I know the Von Erichs. I started telling him all this bullshit that wasn't true. I told him, I said, yeah, man, I know the Von Erichs, man. We went to eat dinner with them at their house before we left to come to Arkansas. And this kid was like, really? Oh, that's crazy. I mean, he was just ate up with it. I mean, he was so ate up with the fact that we were from Dallas. He was asking us for our autographs. I mean, that's how crazy, He was thinking that we were just famous or something because we're from Dallas. And, it's weird because I remember I went and lived in Oklahoma for a short time in the middle of the country. And it was like all these kids acted like I was fucking famous or something because I was from Dallas. It's like all they ever heard of was Dallas is a big city and it's crazy and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And the fact that you're from there, it's like, oh my God, dude, it's like you're famous or something. These country kids, they just don't understand the big city. And it was just funny. So anyway, here I am in Arkansas talking to this fat kid. He's all ate up with the Von Erichs. He's asking me if I can get the Von Erichs autographs for him when I go back to Dallas. And I'm like, yeah, man, sure, man, no problem. So he's giving me his phone number and all this bullshit. He asked me for my autograph, like I said, and I just wrote some chicken scratch down. I was just like, there you go. And I just thought it was funny. And I told him, I said, have you ever seen Kerry Von Erich on TV when he's talking? And he's like, yeah, I see him. And I said, well, you know what? When he's talking, I said, he's got a microphone in his ear and I'm telling him what to say. I told him that I tell Kerry Von Erich what to say on TV. And this kid is eating this shit up, man. He totally believes everything I'm fucking telling him. And I'm trying not to fucking laugh at him and shit, but it's fucking funny as shit. And I told him that I taught Kerry Von Erich how to smoke weed. And this kid thought it was fucking real. He was eating the shit up. And here I am, 14-year-old kid from Dallas. The Von Erichs at the time, man, they were like in their 20s. So, I mean, but, he putting that together. He's a young kid. He just thinks it's funny, or he thinks it's awesome. So, anyway, Jay, ends up messing with homegirl, I guess, because they were out there in the car, and then, I don't know what they did. I guess he bent on her or whatever. They had sex or something. And so we go outside, and I remember the hot chick goes, "Your friends are too rowdy." Because I was wanting to get some beer out of the trunk, and she was like, "Don't give them any more beer." She goes, "They're too rowdy." And I remember I was like, "Bitch, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to tell my friend to not give me my beer?" I said, "Dude, fuck you, bitch." And so I told my buddy, I said, "Hand me the keys." And he threw me the keys. Because he ain't going to deny me my beer. Shit, I paid for some of that beer. That's our beer. So I grabbed some beer, started drinking. So anyway, we decided, fuck this, And S is pissed, okay? He's pissed because he ain't having sex with the hot chick. He's sitting there going, "Why are you so damn good?" He's pissed off at Jay. He's mad. He's just butthurt from hell. He's mad because he's not getting no pussy. He thinks it's bullshit. He thinks it's bullshit because she's not giving him some too. He's been out of shape. So we decided to go back to the campsite. So by then it's probably midnight. So we go back to the campsite and we hit that little road, like I said, with the little camping sign. And I mean, we barely even could find the damn thing. I was like, hell, we don't know where the fucking camp road is. It was so fucking little, such a little bitty road. So we finally find the little road. It's like a little rock gravel road. We go down that thing, wind and wind and wind. And it's so fucking dark. I'm telling you, man, it is dense woods. It is fucking House of 1,000 fucking corpses, man. I'm telling you. You seen that movie Wrong Turn? You go down in the woods, that's what it was. It was freaky. It was fucking freaky. So we go down deep in the woods. Luckily, we put the tent up, or we probably wouldn't even have found the damn thing, or we'd have fucking, because that's what finally popped up with the tent. And so we get out, and we're just like tripping on how dark it is. I mean, it is so fucking dark. So we end up getting a fire going, and it's like, you could look all the way around the campsite in the woods, and you could see so many fucking eyes looking at you. I mean, it was like animals just looking at you from the woods. I don't know what the hell. It was fucking owls and raccoons and fucking buzzards and deers, and I don't know what the fuck was out there. It was all kinds of weird eyes, and fucking there was these little fucking animals that were coming down the trees and shit and looking at you, and fucking damn skunk wobbling through the fucking campsite. I was like, holy shit, this skunk's gonna fucking spray us with the fucking shit. Even though the skunk never sprayed us. It was weird. Fuck comes waddling through the campsite. Didn't give a fuck. And I was like, no sudden movement. Fucking raccoons and shit coming up, jumping on the picnic table. I was like, man, this place is weird. This is like fucking just like petting zoo or something, even though you couldn't pet any of them. So we decided to get in the tent and TP out. We used to call it TPing out. We'd get in the tent and light up a bunch of joints. We just spark up, man, and just smoke out the fucking tent. And just get it smoky as fuck and just blaze. So we're in the tent just blazing, just getting fucking fried. And it's like we're in their tent just laughing, smoking, drinking. S is pissed off because he ain't got no pussy. Fucking butt hurt. Next thing you know, I hear this rustling in the leaves. Like something's coming through the woods. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What comes up on the tent, and it fucking hits the tent. And it bows the tent in. I mean, it bows the tent in real far and hits me right in the back. It's like, boom. I was like, what the fuck is that? We're freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I mean, we were like, it's fucking Michael Myers. I'm like, it's fucking Jason from Friday the 13th. I said, this motherfucker's down here about to chop us with the fucking machete. And so I'm telling Jay, I said, get out, because he's by the entrance. He's like, hell no. And we have our 357 CO2 pistols, you know? It's like, this is the 80's, right? So we all carry these 357 CO2 pistols. We're carrying them around everywhere we go. We're like, what? Oh, you want to fuck with us? We got a CO2 pistol. We got a 357 CO2 pistol, man. You want to fuck with us? Plus, I had like these lock blade knives. I had like a few lock blade knives. I had one of the big motherfuckers. I had one that you opened up. It's like, chink. It was like a fucking sword. I had that bitch on my belt in a fucking little pouch, sheath, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I tell Jay, get out. He's like, no, fuck you, you get out. I'm like, everyone's telling each other to get out. Just get out, just get out, just get out. Nobody wants to get out. I'm like, look, do you think that fucking one layer, a fucking damn millimeter layer of fucking vinyl tint is going to save our fucking lives? I'm like, get the fuck out. And so we finally get out. And we don't know what it is. We don't see anything. We don't see anything that hit the tent that was that big. Somebody says, maybe it was a drunk dude. And it's like, a drunk dude? This is the country, man. This ain't the city. You know, because we're used to the city. We're not used to the country. So, for all we're thinking of is drunk dudes. We're like, it's a drunk dude. I'm like, yeah, it's a drunk fucking hillbilly walking around in the woods. But I'm telling you, the woods were so fucking dense. I mean, they were thick. I don't know how you could even walk through the fucking woods. Try to walk off out of the woods just to kind of go in the woods a little bit to take a leak, and it was so fucking dense. I'm thinking, man, hell, you'd have a hell of a time walking through these woods. So, you know, like I said, we're 14, 16 years old down here in the middle of the fucking deep woods in the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas, and I mean, shit, dude. Parents don't know where we are. Motherfuckers could have killed us. Fucking animals could have killed us. Unless we could kill them with our CO2 guns, you know. We were skilled with those things. So anyway, Jay, he goes, hey man, I'm going to leave, dude. I'm going to go up there and mess with that chick again. Because she wanted him to come back. And I was like, are you kidding me? I said, you're going to leave us down here without no car? Me and S are just like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, dude, I'll be back, dude. And, you know, we don't have no cell phones. There's no cell phones back then, bro. You know, back then we didn't believe cell phones would ever exist. We didn't know what a fucking cell phone was. You know, it's not like we could call him or 911 or anything and say, hey, bro, come back to the woods, you know, or help 911. We're fucked, right? So anyway, we don't even think about it. We're just like, okay, whatever, fuck you, Tick. Go fuck the bitch later. See ya. So he jumps in the car and drives off. Me and Ass are sitting down there in the woods. You know, we got some hamburger meat that we had brought with us. So we started cooking burgers. Started cooking burgers and shit and fucking just started drinking. Hell, we started taking shots of fucking Jack Daniels. Drinking beer. Just sitting at the picnic table laughing our fucking ass off. So, anyway, time goes by. End up fucking passing out. I had put some hamburger meat in a bag of ice. And I kind of hung it on the tree because I didn't want to put it on the ground. And then I wake up like early in the morning and there's this fucking bird on the tree eating that meat out of that ice bag. And I mean, this bird is like a fucking pterodactyl. I mean, it's big. It's a fucking buzzard or a condor or something. I don't know what the fuck it was. It had its wings spread out and had it wrapped around the fucking meat, and it was eating the meat. Fucking, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, dude, it's the fucking craziest fucking bird I ever seen in my life, fucking eating that meat. And so, I'm out of the tent. I'm realizing Jay ain't even back yet. I'm thinking, this motherfucker's still gone. Finally, he comes driving down the road. I hear him coming. I see him. Because by then, you know, the sun's coming up. It's probably like, I don't know, 7:30 in the morning or something. And I'm ready to fucking get out of there. I'm like, fuck this damn deep woods bullshit. Fuck this shit, dude. Jay shows up and he goes, dude, what's up, man? I said, damn, dude, you were gone all night, man. Where the fuck, dude? He's like, yeah, dude, I was with that chick. I said, no shit. He goes, dude, hey, she wants us to spend the night down here again. I was like, man, fuck that. I said, you can take me back to the fucking condo where your parents are, and I'll just stay there. I said, dude, fuck this. I ain't staying out in these woods again. Go camp somewhere else. I ain't camping here. He goes, yeah, that's what I told her. He's like, yeah, I told her that we didn't want to camp down here again. And I was like, bitch, you didn't even camp down here. You were just down here for a little while and then left. I said, shit, you're up there getting pussy and shit. We're down here fucking running from Michael Myers and fucking Jason, Freddy Krueger, whoever the fuck's down here. Fucking psycho hillbillies and shit. Fucking weird creatures bumming into the fucking tent. Fucking Bigfoot. So anyway, we get in the car and we fucking leave and we head back to Fairfield Bay. And you know, Jay's telling us all this shit. Oh, dude, look at the fucking, I fucked in the back seat, dude. Look at the fucking little wet stain in the back seat. I'm like, man, oh my God. You know, we're just laughing at his ass. I'm like, dude. I'm like, did you use a fucking condom? He's like, I said, you're a fucking idiot. So anyway, we go back to the Fairfield Bay or whatever, and then we end up going to the damn, they had like a bowling alley, like I said, an arcade up there in that town. And a lot of the peep kids would go there, a lot of the teenagers and stuff. And so we ended up hooking up with some other girls from some other state, you know, and ended up hanging out with them and had some fun with them. And eventually we ended up going back to Dallas. And fast forward 6 months. Fast forward 6 months from the time we went to Arkansas. Okay? Maybe Christmas time. Jay tells me that he gets a letter from this chick, from the hot chick. He tells me that she says she's pregnant. She's pregnant with his baby. No shit. He's like, dude, man, that chick says she's pregnant with my chick. I'm like, the Arkansas chick? He's like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? He goes, dude, yeah, and I didn't even give her my name. I didn't tell her my real last name. I didn't tell her my address or nothing. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, she must have took down my license plate number or something. And I was like, ugh, that's crazy, bro. I said, so what are you going to do? And he goes, nothing. Shit, I ain't fucking getting I ain't got no hillbilly kid. I'm like, man, you're a fucking idiot. I was like, dude, if you got a kid, you need to figure it out whether it's your kid or not, man. You can't just dish your fucking kid. You know, because my dad left me when I was 5. So, you know, I just don't know about dissing some little kid. I said, so, and he never did. He never checked on it. He never went back, whatever. He never got in touch with her. So as far as I know, he may have some fucking half hillbilly kid that lives in Arkansas somewhere that hates his fucking guts. You know, whether his mom told him the truth, I don't know. You know, he's probably got some hillbilly kid in Arkansas that hates him. But I haven't talked to Jay in a long time. So, I mean, who knows? You know, I talked to him back, you know, I mean, I talked to him when, 10 years ago when we were in our 30s. And I know that he never contacted her or tried to get in touch. He don't even know. I figured by then, I mean, that was when we were 16, you know, 14, 15, 16. I known him all those years. I know he didn't ever contact her. Which he ended up getting married and having other kids. But anyway, that was the story I wanted to tell you, was about Arkansas. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And, you know, try to get your friends to subscribe. And I'll have some more stories for y'all soon. All right, guys, take care.